Hey Raj, can I describe a very specific feeling to you and tell me if it sounds familiar?
Sure, go ahead.
You watch an English video, understand every word. You read an English article, no problem at all. But the moment someone asks you a question in English, your mind just goes blank.
Oh wow, that's exactly how I felt for years, honestly. I understood so much, but speaking felt like a completely different skill.
That's today's topic. Lesson 41. If you understand English but can't speak it, watch this. Because this is one of the most common struggles learners face, and honestly, it's not talked about enough.
Why do you think this happens though? It feels so strange, understanding perfectly but not being able to produce it yourself.
It's actually a well known gap, sometimes called the input output gap. Understanding English is called input. You're receiving information. Speaking is output. You're actively creating it. And these are genuinely two different skills, even though they use the same language.
Oh, that actually makes so much sense. So it's not that I'm bad at English, it's that I've only trained one half of it?
Exactly right. Most people spend years consuming English, movies, videos, articles, but very little time actually producing it themselves. Naturally, one skill grows much stronger than the other.
That's honestly such a relief to hear. Because I always assumed something was wrong with me specifically.
Nothing is wrong with you at all. This happens to millions of learners. Let's talk about why this gap forms and, more importantly, how to actually close it.
Okay, let's start with why. What's the biggest reason?
The biggest reason is simple. Listening and reading require zero risk. If you don't understand a word, nobody notices. You just keep watching or reading. But speaking requires risk. Mistakes are visible, immediate, and sometimes embarrassing.
That's so true, honestly. Watching a video, I can misunderstand something completely and no one would ever know.
Exactly. So your brain naturally avoids the riskier skill and keeps choosing the safer one, consuming rather than producing.
Okay, so how do we actually fix this? Because clearly, just watching more content isn't the answer, based on what you just said.
Exactly. More input alone won't fix it. You need to deliberately practice output, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Let's go through a few practical ways to do that.
Okay, let's hear them.
First, stop translating, start producing directly. When you understand something in English, don't just nod along silently. Try immediately saying it back in your own words out loud.
Oh, like if I watch a video explaining something, I should pause and explain it myself afterward?
Exactly. That single habit forces your brain to actually produce language, not just absorb it.
That's such a simple shift, honestly. I never thought to do that.
Second, answer questions out loud, not just in your head. A lot of learners mentally answer questions while watching interviews or podcasts, but never actually say the answer out loud themselves.
Oh, I do this constantly. I'll hear a question in an interview, know exactly what I'd say, but never actually speak it, even alone.
That's the exact habit we need to break. Let's practice this right now. I'll ask you a question, and instead of just thinking your answer, actually say it out loud immediately.
Okay, ready.
What's one thing you're genuinely proud of this year?
Honestly, I'm proud that I've become so much more confident speaking English, especially compared to a year ago.
Perfect. See, that felt natural, right? No hesitation.
It really did. And I don't think I would have said that if I just thought it silently.
Exactly the point. Third technique, speak before you feel ready. A lot of learners wait until they feel fluent enough to start speaking, but that feeling honestly never fully arrives.
That's so true. I waited years thinking I needed to be ready first.
And that waiting actually keeps the gap wider because you're avoiding the exact practice that would close it. Speaking imperfectly right now is what builds the skill, not waiting for perfection.
That's such an important mindset shift, honestly.
Fourth, use retelling as daily practice. After watching or reading anything in English, try retelling the main points out loud, in your own words, like you're explaining it to a friend.
Oh, that's similar to what we discussed in our Speak Alone lesson 2, right?
Exactly the same principle, just applied specifically to closing this input output gap. Let's actually try it. I'll describe something briefly and you retell it back to me in your own words.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yesterday I read an article about how morning sunlight exposure can improve your sleep quality at night because it helps regulate your body's natural clock.
So basically, getting sunlight in the morning helps your body know when it's day and night, which then helps you sleep better at night?
Perfect retelling, Raj. You didn't repeat my exact words. You explained it in your own way, which is exactly the goal.
That actually felt pretty natural, honestly. Easier than I expected.
That's because retelling uses information you already understand. So you're only practicing production, not comprehension at the same time.
That makes so much sense. Okay, is there one more technique?
Yes, and it's simple but powerful. Talk more than you listen. During your practice time specifically. Obviously, listening and reading are still valuable, but during dedicated practice sessions, flip the ratio. Spend more time speaking than consuming.
Oh, so like if I usually spend an hour watching English videos, maybe spend some of that time actually speaking instead?
Exactly right. Even replacing just 15 minutes of passive watching with active speaking practice makes a real difference over time.
Okay, so friends, to summarize, the gap between understanding and speaking is completely normal. It's just two different skills. To close it, stop silently translating. Actually answer questions out loud. Speak before you feel ready. Retell what you've learned in your own words and balance your practice time towards speaking, not just listening.
Perfect summary, Raj. And I think the most important thing to remember is if you're in this exact situation right now, understanding perfectly but struggling to speak, it doesn't mean you're behind. It just means one specific skill needs more direct practice.
That's honestly such reassuring advice. I wish someone had explained this exact gap to me years ago.
That's exactly why we made this lesson. So, friends, right now, try the retelling exercise. Think of one thing you watched, read, or learned recently and explain it out loud in your own words right now.
Comment below and tell us what you retold, or if this input output gap idea explains something you've personally felt.
We genuinely love to hear your experience with this.
If this lesson helped you understand why speaking feels harder than listening, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who relates to this exact struggle.
See you all in the next lesson.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. And Raj, retell today's entire lesson to me right now in one sentence.
um, Understanding isn't speaking, so practice speaking, not just listening.
Perfect. Bye, everyone.